appreciate being here.
Well, thanks, and we're thrilled. We don't often get guests in studio, so this is a special privilege for us today. So thanks again. But so I want to ask you, of course, to fill us in on some basic introductory sorts of details about Suncoast Animal League, and we'll no doubt swing back around to those things. But it might be just as useful to first delve into discussing the 50 some odd dogs that arrived Monday night.
And odd may be a good way to put it, because they come from Georgia, and it's 51 puppies that we received, all mixed breeds of various origin, but 51 is a lot to get at one time. They came in about 9 o'clock Monday night. We were at the shelter till about 1:30 processing them. One of the most amazing things is the fact that we have a very strong foster program. So by 1:30 at night, all 51 puppies were in foster homes.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool. And then we had 6 adults that came along, and 3 of those were pregnant and about ready to give birth, so they went into foster homes also. So it's been a pretty amazing couple of days, and it's just it's a rural area up there. It's an animal shelter. They do their best. They do the best that they can. They just don't have any resources, and every so often it just becomes overwhelming for us, and they'll give us a call, and if we can try to help, we'll help. Normally we'll get 12 or 13 dogs. 15, 16 dogs, something like that. So this was way above and beyond what we normally do.
And is it there's just one specific shelter or organization that periodically needs the kind of help that you're providing, that you provided on Monday?
It is that group that we deal with quite a bit, and we get calls every day from shelters all over the country actually seeking help. And some of the problems you run into, there can be a lot of disease in animal shelters, and we have to be really careful about who we deal with, what they do prior to us getting the animals. Just we can't bring things back here and put our animals in danger that are here. So
sure.
So we get a history with some shelters, and we know pretty much what we're getting. It's always a risk, but we can minimize that risk by knowing who we're dealing with. So that's what we have a tendency to do.
And what is it? There seems to be something about Georgia, because obviously that's where these came from, and it sounds like regularly that's what happens. And a little bit later in the show, we're going to chat briefly with Lori Spaulding from Florida All Retriever Rescue.
I know Lori well.
Yeah, and in fact, she has an anecdote about you that I'll be probably sharing in a moment. But again, steady influx of dogs to them, and apparently to you. So what is the Georgia thing?
Well, a lot of it has to do with being in rural areas, and the shelters. The animals are just sort of left outside to fend for themselves in many cases, and they breed, and now you have all kinds of animals. The past couple times we've helped out, we've had about 4 of the dogs that have been shot. And we've had to have amputate a leg on one of the dogs and stuff. So the dogs up there, we have a stray cat problem in the Tampa Bay area, just like pretty much everybody does. So you see those cats roaming around all the time. Well, up there it's dogs, and they're everywhere. They're on every street corner. They're packs at every.
Wow.
It's a mess. It's a different world than what we face here.
Sure. So that's gonna continually have an overflow and a need for people like you and Lori to step up.
Exactly.
Wow. Let's sort of stick with this. So the 51 came and they immediately sort of sounds like went to foster homes.
Exactly. Most of them, there's only about 5 of them that were even 8 weeks of age. Everybody else is very young, even down to 5 days old. So what we try to do is we get them medically taken care of, and then we divide them up in 2s and 3s and put them into foster homes, and they get an opportunity. And these dogs, and even the adult dogs, it's the first time they've ever been inside a home.
Oh, wow.
They're completely outdoor dogs.
Yeah.
So it's a big change for them. So we're putting the puppies into a situation where they can learn very quickly what it's like to live in a house, to have a family that cares for them and loves them and such, and and eventually be normal little puppies.
But you guys must have tremendous infrastructure then. I mean, to have just this week 51 dogs suddenly come in. And when you got them in Monday night, it sounded like they immediately went to homes. So you must have kind of quite a system in place for this.
We do, and we've done this before, and I've been doing the animal shelters. I run the Humane Society in Pinellas for 20-some years, and so we've been there and done that, and we just have an unbelievable support system out there. And not everybody can give money, so this is the way they give back. And in many cases, this is even more important. Facebook has become such a tool, a positive tool for us, because we can go out there and keep them updated, everything that's going on. And plus, while they're on the rescue, they Twitter me back or they email me, and I can put it out there, and everybody's ready to go.
Wow.
And we don't have to make a lot of phone calls. We have the people that contact us through that. We set up, okay, we expect them to be in at 6 o'clock. Well, they didn't get in until almost 9 o'clock. So we keep people updated, and at 9 o'clock we had an influx of people, and it's just it's an amazing system. We got a dog in, was turned into us, and a 2-year-old large dog, very, very nice, Gracie. She could hardly walk. Her back legs were in really bad shape. And we took her to a specialist. It was going to be $3,400 in surgery to do both of her back legs. And that's with a $1,500 discount. We went to our Facebook friends and our constant contact people, and we asked everybody for $1. And within 14 hours, actually, we raised the $3,400 to have the surgery on Gracie.
Wow. Ain't technology grand?
It can be.
Yeah, well, in those kind of cases, absolutely. So then how long would, again, let's just maybe follow these 51 a little bit further, just because I think we learn a lot about Sunny Coast Animal League in the process. So how long, typically then, would they be in the foster homes that they landed in sort of immediately?
A good question. It depends on their age. We look at 8 weeks as the age that we'll start to have them spayed and neutered. A couple of puppies that I have here right now, they've just turned 8 weeks old. They had surgery this week. So that's, so if you have the 2-week-old puppies, you're going to have them 6 or 7 weeks before they're ready to come back for adoption. And then again, you have a litter of 6-week-old puppies. It's just going to be a couple of weeks.
I see. And by the way, we're going to meet them more officially in a few minutes, but that's Buddy and Smokey he's referring to, and the cat you're hearing periodically, or maybe even insistently in the background, is Snowball, who we'll also meet. And these are all animals looking for homes, and maybe we can help a little bit with that during the show. So this is Talking Animals. If you just tuned in, we're speaking with Rick Shabadee, Executive Director of the Sunny Coast Animal League. If you'd like to join the conversation, ask a question or offer a comment, please call 813-239-9663 or email us at dj@wmnf.org. So it sounds like you really do have a structure in place, a protocol really for how these happen, and again with Facebook, Twitter, it's better than me, it's to sort of get the word out, and so is there a place now? Let's say these 51 just came in, they found homes, and I wouldn't be surprised from what you just explained to us that very soon you might hear from the same folks in Georgia. Maybe in the next few days, let's say, a week, whatever. So do you hit a point where you tap out on all those nice people who say, hey, I can't give you money, but I can become a foster home for you, and then